Algebra 1 EOC Star Review, Category 3, on page 14, Graphing Linear Equations. The first equation we're given is in standard form, ax plus by equals c. To graph a linear equation, the simplest form is to get the equation into y equals mx plus b. So our goal here is to get y by itself. This is our space, move, divide. So our first step is to space the constant 6. Now we're ready to move the x term, which is the positive 2x, to the right side. We do this by inverse operations. So the opposite of adding 2x is to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. And then the last step is to divide by the constant of y. So we divide both sides by 3. Here's our, don't break my heart, negative 2x divided by 3. Well, that's going to still be the fraction negative 2/3 x. And then positive 6 divided by 3 is positive 2. Now the equation is in slope-intercept form. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. We start B and we go M. So our start of our B is our y-intercept is positive 2. So on the y-axis, we would plot the point 0, 2. Then we would go M. M is our rate of change. We see that's negative 2 over 3. So right away we know that if our slope is negative, the line should be going down from left to right. It's a decreasing slope. So rise over run, down 2, and right 3. And it's a constant rate of change, so we could repeat that, which is the same as going up 2 and left 3. Once we've plotted those points, nice points on the graph, we're ready to connect with a nice smooth line and not forget our arrows on the end. Second equation reads y minus 2 equals negative 3 times x plus 1. I can quickly identify this as point-slope form. So to graph point-slope form, we want to plot the point and then apply the slope. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. If we isolate the variable y, once again we can get this in its simplest form, y equals mx plus b. So we distribute the negative 3, bring down the y minus 2. Now our goal is to get y by itself, so we need to add the 2 to both sides, add it to its like term, the negative 3, and we get y equals negative 3x minus 1. Once the equation's in y equals mx plus b, we can start with our b, which is the negative 1. So we would plot that point on the y-axis, and then we would go m, which is a slope again of negative, so this line should be going down. And remember, you can write a whole number anytime. You can write it over 1. So negative 3 divided by 1 is still negative 3. So we would rise down, because it's negative, 3 units, and right 1. Down 3, right 1, which is the same as going up 3 and left 1. Connect those points with a nice smooth line with arrows on the end. The third equation reads x minus 5 equals 0. Right away, I notice there is no y value. So this keys me in on VUX. Vertical line, undefined slope, x value is going to repeat. So my goal here is to get the x variable by itself. And to do that, we would draw the line and add 5 to both sides of the equation. X equals 5. So I would go plot a point on the x-axis at 5. Vertical line, undefined slope, x repeats. Plot the point when x is 5, and then we would draw the vertical line through that point. Undefined slope, x repeats. The last equation we're going to look at, I notice there's no x this time, so I immediately cue on the keyword of HOI that we studied. My goal here is to get the y variable by itself, so I start by drawing the line down the equal sign. I then would divide, since negative 3 is being multiplied, pushed up next to the variable y, divide both sides by negative 3, and y equal negative 4. So HOI is a horizontal line, the slope is 0, and the y is repeating is always negative 4. So we would plot our point, the y value of negative 4, and draw our horizontal line.